He is a PRO for the Ghana Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists. You're live in NEWSNIGHT on Metro Television. All right, so we'll definitely bring you more stories in relation to this. Let's still talk health. As some stranded patients seeking laboratory services at Mahia Government Hospital and other hospitals in the Kumasi metropolis have appealed to government as a matter of urgency, consider the demands of the striking laboratory scientists for them to return to work immediately. Meanwhile, some private laboratories around the hospitals have taken advantage of the strike by their colleagues in public facilities, and they are cashing in.
Tanaka said, young conquer having you no mojab. Into your lab, your comment shall lab or no. They are telling us, almost strike. Into a month share. Into your former director, by men outside. One lab be your and you be testing. But you buy no normal malaria price no cost. Because I've been doing a whole lot of tests on malaria. Nanka bank, I cost about 30 and 10 cities. We're about almost 110 cities. And so much to take advantage of it. They are happening on normal day. How many do you have? Ama Yesika Samba.
Fine. And also, just say, the call on one and the and I went to Chinsono and Kiabano more. Why you
Still on the strike actions, patients walking into the Kolebu Central Laboratory were turned away to patronize nearby services of private labs for their test labs. Speaking to Metro News about their strike action, the chairman for the Kolebu chapter of the Central Laboratory, Francis Kwache Entry, says they are not backing down until their demands are met.
Most patients who had been referred to the Central Laboratory of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital for services were turned away elsewhere as the strike action of the lab scientists continues unabated. Frustrated patients could only express their worry and frustration over the strike and pleaded with government to meet the needs of the striking lab scientists.
Trying the lab years. What I think they say they are on strike. So there's nothing to do. I have to go and do. I have to go and do it outside.
No, very well. Me over me.
5,000 people and over to come back to work, and then while still watching the illegality happening. So the two medics move, and we will come back to work. And those of us here in Kolebu, we support them 100% because they've tried it here before, and we were able to advise them that they don't become disobedient to our laws, and they were pushed away. We don't mean to say that we can't collaborate with them in the laboratory. No. If they come here and they are passing through our labs to appreciate what we do in order to produce better care for our patients, we don't have any problem. But the fact that a lab person also comes to the consulting room or the wards to appreciate what happens there for better management of our patient doesn't mean that we have the license to practice in their consulting rooms. And so it's a simple matter. They don't have the license.
He called on the President and the Minister of Health, Kweku Ajiman Menu, to listen to them.
It will end when those two people are taken from the place. It will end when the illegality happening there is actually halted. It will end when each and every professional within the health system actually learn to respect the other professional. That is when it will end. We are calling on the Minister of Health to he has actually delayed in his intervention. I don't know what is happening. But if he cares to know, if he cares about the patient, he should step in immediately and take those illegal persons out of that place.
Today is being marked as World Menstrual Day, and as the world celebrates Menstrual Hygiene Day today, some Ghanaians have called on government to freely distribute sanitary pads or help reduce the cost. According to them, most young girls are unable to afford sanitary towels, hence resort to unhealthy products and practices during their periods, exposing them to some health risks. Metro News' Zoe Anita Ode has been exploring the subject.
Hygiene Day is marked to highlight the importance of good menstrual hygiene, as well as break the taboos associated with menstruation. However, some women, when it comes to the choices of menstrual pads, find it difficult due to the cost of it and its availability. Hence, the fight to end period poverty still continues in Ghana. But do you think menstrual pads should be free?
The government should reduce it more for us, so read it. Some of the young ladies, they can't afford to buy the sanitary pads, so the government, he has to reduce the price for the young ladies to afford to buy it.
With a condom, the price is less expensive, but with a pad, it is highly expensive. Like some of the pads, you get it for 10 cedis, 7 cedis going. And with those ones with the low price, you get it 2 cedis, but it is not better. You use it, you later get infection. So with the quality one, they should reduce the price so that everybody can afford to buy it.
I want the government to reduce the price of pad because it's too expensive. Some of the girls cannot afford the price. Some also use rag during their period.
It should be free because we also need it. We are ladies. And we think when the government is providing us as students like this, it will help some people. Some are the needy people and some are in poverty. So it's good. He has to give it out free without taking any tax or anything. At least that's the small thing government can use to support us, the ladies.
For government to subsidize pad for women, I will not really support it. But I will advise that they should provide a max pad for those in secondary school, at least.
As for the sanitary pad, I don't think that the government should supply it for us because like it will reduce the development and stuff because it's like they can use that money to like develop other things and stuff. So I think that they should reduce the price.
I want the government to reduce the price because using of tissue and toiletry is giving infection for a lot of people.
The Director of Programs and Service at Planned Parenthood Association of Ghana, Dr. Divine Achopra, has called on government to invest more in universal access to adolescent services and scrap the 20% tax placed on sanitary pads. He spoke earlier this week at the 3rd Adolescent Summit in Accra.
Important to ensure that every girl can learn, play, safeguard her own health without experiencing stress, shame, unnecessary barriers to information or supplies during menstruation. We need urgent intervention to ensure universal access to the menstrual health facilities and materials. We all know that quite a number of our young girls do not attend school.
Sufficient one, you really have no choice because it's an outcome of your non-investment in the more efficient ones, So if that is what we need to keep our girls in school, then it is protection for our educational bill because we want our children to be in school, and if menstruation is keeping them out and removing the 20% of the tax will keep them in school, then it means that it will even support our agenda in making sure that everybody is educated.
The second phase of the COVID-19 vaccination exercise, which began on May 19, has ended. The exercise was expected to inoculate about 360,000 persons who received their first jab from March 1st to March 9 this year. And how successful has this particular exercise been? Let's get some answers and speak to Dr. Kwame Amponsa Achiano. He's a program manager for the expanded program on immunization. If you can hear me, thanks so much for your time on NEWSNIGHT.
Good evening.
All right, how would you rate?
Yeah, you accept that I'm in a vehicle en route to Accra.
All right.
So
we'll manage. How would you rate the second phase of the vaccination exercise?
Yeah, so far it's gone very well. We started on the 19th, and as of today, we've had over 98% of those we targeted for the second dose having come forward.
All right. So how many people were vaccinated in this particular phase?
Yes, so we have done over 370,000.
Okay. How about those who are yet to even receive their first doses? What happens to them?
Yes, of course, this issue keeps on coming. And as we have been saying, the plan is to vaccinate approximately 20 million people by the end of the year. And we still are on course. And so, of course, those who haven't received any dose at all are also very, very important to us because we think that if we are able to vaccinate a large majority with at least one dose, it will help keep the pandemic at bay further.
All right, so for persons who receive their first doses, but then due to some reasons they were unable to come in for their second dose, what happens to them?
Yes, it depends on the situation. We will take stock. And normally what happens is that when we're doing a campaign, we give a time period within which districts and regions are supposed to complete the exercise. But of course, there are situations where we have special dispensations for districts that have special issues. So we'll take stock and see whether we can open up for those who have any problems. But for now, the campaign is over.
Okay, so given the fact that there were timelines within which they were supposed to come in for the second dose, what is the vaccination exercise?
Well, it's difficult for me to give you a very specific date, but we have indications that by the end of June, we should have started.
All right, Dr. Achiano, thanks so much for speaking to us on NEWSNIGHT. I have been engaging the program manager of the expanded program on immunization, Dr. Kwame Amponsa Achiano. Now, to other stories, a video making rounds on social media indicates that a 54-year-old caregiver has allegedly molested an 11-month-old baby to death. The caregiver, identified as Clara Anyani Ampa, was arrested after a closed-circuit television camera exposed her act. Here's an excerpt of the video. So we do apologize for the graphic nature of that video you just saw, and we'll definitely bring you more on this in our subsequent bulletins. You're live on NEWSNIGHT on Metro Television. We go for a break and return shortly with more. Do stay.
June, a high-sense fridge promo. For high-sense showroom, yeah. This is what Mama said. Fridge that be how. And that's we here fridge for. And my opportunity way and sound hot that. Hisense fridge na F4 eche eye papa and power everyone so there on the low. Hisense pack and amount 5 years manufacturer defect warranty for Hisense fridge papa never grow niema kai say if it's 18th May I got him 8th June eye Hisense fridge promo. Hisense everyday prices for everyday people.
As a mother and wife, my priority is making sure my family is protected at all times. That is why I never forget to give my angel a Flora disposable handkerchief to keep germs and sweat at bay. When hubby is out in the fields, I'm rest assured of Flora coming in handy anytime he needs it. Even when my daughter-in-law is out late, I am confident Flora disposable handkerchief will be close enough to save the moment. Flora disposable handkerchiefs are my go-to disposable handkerchiefs any day, anytime, and everywhere. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is affordable and handy. Flora, better than cloth handkerchiefs. Flora is a product of Delta Paper Mill Limited. For inquiries and bulk purchases, call 0243 033 033.
Now let's talk population census. You count, so get counted is the theme for this year's population and housing census, which officially kickstarts on June 28th. At the launch of the 30 days countdown to this year's census night in Accra on Friday, President Akufo-Addo called on all Ghanaians to cooperate with field officers for a successful execution of the exercise.
The population and housing census was conducted in 1891. At the time, the total population was estimated at 764,613. With the population having bloated over the years, there is a need to recapture the data of the citizens to aid in development agenda of government. Ghana was scheduled to conduct the latest census in 2020, but the exercise was postponed at the onset of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, all is set for the first fully digitized census, first with the marking of structures across the country with unique numbers on June 13. On the census night on June 27, field officers will then capture the data of persons who sleep in the open, such as the front of stores, markets or pavements. Long-distance travelers, as well as persons who spend the night in schools, hospitals, hotels and guest houses will also be counted.
Inform the public on the strategies that we've instituted to achieve the two goals of the census undertaking, which is comprehensive, complete coverage and accurate data. Sensitize the public on channels by which their grievances can be launched, and also strategies that we'll put in place to ensure that we do not leave anyone behind. Once we've done all these things, then we are optimistic that the public, the general public, would have been mobilized to participate in the 2021 population housing census, with the condition that they spend the census night in Ghana. Then once we've done that, we assure all persons, based on our resource strategy, on how at least we could use the census data in 100 days.
The data, according to President Akufo-Addo, will help government plan.
The census data will provide us with information related to distances to hospitals, schools, market centers, and even major service roads, as well as adequacy of housing stock. The census will ensure that we have information needed to breathe life into our key constitutional provisions on equity and the promotion of interests of the marginalized and disadvantaged in our society.
He urged all Ghanaians to cooperate with field officers.
As President of the Republic, I'm aware of several concerns and sensitivities that some people may have regarding boundary disputes and religious and political polarizations. However, the census will be an independent and professional process whose outcomes will not be influenced by any of these. Indeed, the census process may help to resolve some or all of these issues. So please bear with the census officials as they go about their business and provide complete and accurate information to them.
Meanwhile, the Minister for Local Government and Decentralization, Dan Butchie, has assured Ghanaians that his ministry is moving to resolve bandit disputes in some parts of the country. At the launch of the 30-day countdown to Census Night, the minister said he's studying the recommendations by the technical committee tasked to find a lasting resolve to the impasse, and soon their concerns will be addressed.
2021 census will also collect data on housing conditions and household amenities and assets. The data will be useful to the metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies to assess the quality of housing availability of utilities in the dwelling units, as well as to determine housing tenant arrangements. Comprehensive information will also be captured on the sanitation and waste management in our communities towards a cleaner environment for all. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I am very encouraged by the efforts of the Ghana Statistical Service is making to use and collect more geospatial data to make small area analysis possible, so we can identify and provide detailed breakdown of poor households in the country. I would like to assure of my ministry's support, as it has done in the past, towards the conduct of this census by allocating storage facilities in all the 275 statistical districts in the country. The ministry will continue to support Ghana Statistical Service to ensure the conduct of a successful census through the regional and district census implementation committees. Finally, Your Excellency, I wish to assure you that my ministry is paying particular attention to the recommendations by the technical committee on the resolution of boundary disputes to achieve the target of the total count of persons in every part of the country. We will work with all stakeholders to resolve this.
Now, away from the 2021 population housing census, because the minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, is demanding an immediate halt to the burning of excavators by personnel of Operation Halt Task Force as part of government's renewed efforts in clamping down on the activities of illegal small-scale miners along water bodies. According to him, the act is a clear breach of the 1992 Constitution and amounts to the adoption of extrajudicial powers by members of government. His concern drew a sharp rebuttal from the majority leader, Osei Mem Sabunsu, who insists the latest strategy remains the only viable option in tackling the menace.
To this House, in accord with Article 88 of the Constitution as the principal advisor to government, why the President should not be held in check for being in breach of the laws of Ghana and the Constitution of Ghana, save that some evidence, material, must be provided that burning excavators is sanctioned by the laws of Ghana, and I wait to see that law. I thank you. We will not accept illegal. Now, Speaker, I'll quote the President's exact words. Okay, the mantra, go to court. Mr. Speaker, go to court. That reminds me to quote as a ex-ante excess judicial power. It's never vested in the President. Ex-ante, that is extrajudicial power he is doing. So, Mr. Speaker, where is his comfort? He's comfortable that people should go to court. We will question that. So the Attorney General will be brought before this House because we want him to lead the lawful Republic of Ghana in accordance with his oath to uphold the Constitution and the laws of Ghana and to hold himself accountable to the laws of Ghana. No law in Ghana today permits the burning of excavators.
It's not supposed to be there. And the operator vamoose. and disables it by removing the vital cord so that they cannot be moved. So that they cannot be moved. What happens to it?
The Chief Justice, Kwesi Enini-Yeboah, has called on lawyers to uphold good ethics and make solving problems for their clients their primary concern. According to him, the mark of a good lawyer is not one who is always winning his case in court, but one who serves his client or organization without necessarily resorting to litigations. Justice Kwesi Enini-Yeboah made the call at a ceremony held in Accra to enroll 32 lawyers to the bar.
A total of 32 graduates were called to the bar to commence their practice as lawyers after successfully completing the legal education. At the ceremony held in the Law Complex in Accra, the Chief Justice, Kwesi Enini-Yeboah, told the graduates they should uphold the ethics of a good lawyer, taking into consideration what makes a good lawyer is the ability to provide solutions and not always winning a case in court.
As you commence your pupillage, remember that there's hardly any experienced, accomplished, successful senior lawyer who did not work long and hard to get to their current positions. If you are going to be learning from them, then be willing to exhibit such meritorious quality. Demonstrate a strong work ethic and be ready to make that extra effort. The life of a lawyer may look glamorous, but it requires a lot of hard work and sacrifices. Always remember that the mark of a good lawyer is not one who is always winning his cases in court. Your job is primarily to solve problems and provide solutions for your clients and organizations without necessarily resorting to litigation.
He further added the disciplinary committee and the legal counsel will closely monitor their activities as they practice.
Your reputation for meticulous honesty is vital, and you must resolve to be honest at all times. Just know that the disciplinary committee of the General Legal Council will not close its eyes to any infractions on your part in the pursuit of your careers as lawyers.
You are watching Newsnight here on Metro TV with Efia Fosua, and I will be back after this break with business. Please do stay.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally.
Policy Health Insurance, you can get up to 80 Ghana cedis worth of insurance per night for up to 40 nights with just a premium of 5 Ghana cedis. All you have to do is dial *110# to access your Vodafone Cash menu, select financial services and follow the prompts to pay for your insurance wherever, whenever. Simple as that. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care, our concern.
Welcome to the business segment here on Newsnight. My name is Winston Taki, bringing you update from the world of business here. Stay tuned for more. Now to our first story. The Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, says Ghana's GDP per capita is likely to inch higher after the 2021 population and housing consensus conducted this year. He spoke at the launch of the 30 days countdown that is likely to happen shortly.
Will offer us an opportunity to review our current 2020 per capita GDP of 13,079 Ghana cedis to a much higher figure, we pray. The African Union's Agenda 2063, the Sustainable Development Goals, the sustainability, and other development programs have all placed heavy demands for increased availability of quality data to guide the path towards further national and global development. Our own ECOWAS convergence criteria has been dogged by the integrity of data from member countries. Once again, with the census, Ghana will take a giant leap forward with the census. On the continental platform, the headquarters, with Ghana being the headquarters of AFCFTA, we are compelled to create a green space, a pillar of stability, of transparency, good governance, and economic growth. This has to be driven by data in order to accelerate the trade and investment agenda to ensure
domestic debt used for social and environmental projects, including loans taken to pay for the government's free senior high school policy. The use of social bonds has boomed since the coronavirus pandemic, yet, so far, only a few sovereign issuers have sold them, including Chile and Ecuador. Government will contract some of the same transactional advisors it used in the sale of its historic zero-coupon bond sale for the issuance of the sustainable bond by July. The sale, likely to be a mix of social and green bonds, would come months after Ghana sold 4-year zero-coupon debt to international investors as part of a $3 billion Eurobond deal that also included 20 years, 12 years, and 7 years sureties, respectively. The government
These are just the indicative rates when it comes to how the cedi is performing against various currencies across the world. So tomorrow, if you go to any forex bureau near you, just know that these are just indicative prices that are likely to change should the buying of goods and services play in the marketplace. That will be it for business here on Newsnight. My name is Winston Taki. Up next is sports.
Lawful wedded wife to having to hold from this day forward. I do.
I knew it.
How much drama can you enjoy? See it feely with HD Plus. Get the best companion for your HD TV with HD Plus. Dial *879# to activate and enjoy the first 2 months for free.
My name is Feo John Quarter. It's time for sports. Let's start with the Ghana Premier League. Week 27 has started already, and Karila drew Gold Olympics 1-1. We'll bring you highlights.
That's what to hang on the ball, going solo. Kasim sends a through pass. Here is Ashikwe. That's the equalizer. It's a brilliant goal.
So 1-1 ended at Enyase over there in Zema land over there. We'll bring you results and fixtures on your screen pretty soon. We'll find out which team is playing in the week 26-27 of the Ghana Premier League. There you have it. Karila drew 1-1 Great Olympics. On Saturday, Adriana Stars will welcome Kotoko at Doma. The Liberty Professionals will certainly play against Dreams FC. On Sunday, Bechem United will welcome the gentlemen from the Central Readers, Elmina Shak. Ashgold will be at the Lenkley Sports Stadium. They will play the Lego Knights on Sunday. We'll give you the other fixtures. You come pretty soon. You get it? Karila beating Great Olympics. Wafa will be at Soga Cup. They will play against Butuan Draws. King Pfizer will welcome 11 Wonders to find out whether they can beat them. Inter Allies will play against the Miners from Takwa. Hasselfolk will be at Accra Sports Stadium and play Chelsea, not the one playing the Champions League, the one from Brekum Chelsea. There they are in the Ghana Premier League. Tomorrow by this time will be the finals of the UEFA Champions League. Chelsea will play against Manchester City. The managers are ready to go and to get their results. Let's first let Pep Guardiola.
I don't have any nice words to feel relief about the guys, like you have said before. They're going to play. But my advice is to stick with the team, because there are 5-6 substitutions here and everybody will be part, and life is always give you another chance.
And 2 different matches, 2 different lineups. Tomorrow will be a very different lineup, I think, from Man City, but nevertheless we have the experience of how much we had to suffer. We have the experience of how
of Inter Milan over there. Finals of the Champions League, we are being told, should he win, it's likely that he'll go back to the Catalonian and be the coach of Barcelona. Pep Guardiola, remember that he used to be the coach of Barcelona. We are likely and reporting that he's likely to go back to Barcelona over there in Barcelona. This gentleman is English. It's Eddie Ham. He's talking to Celtic to become their manager. We'll find out how he goes over there. But we're being told that talks are not well, and we'll find out whether it will be true or not. Eddie Ham over there stretching his arms and saying that maybe they should hold on.
That was Jackie performing her hit song Forever at the African Union Day concert. Now let's move on to international. BET 2021 released their nominees list, and Megan Thee Stallion and the Baby tops with 7 nominations.
The awards, which honor black excellence across music, television, film, and sports in 21 categories, is returning with a live audience after last year's virtual show. Rappers Megan Thee Stallion and The Baby topped the nomination list with 7 nominations each, with Cardi B and Drake next in line with 5 nominations. Anderson .Paak, Bruno Mars, Chloe and Halle, and Chris Brown also follow with 4 nods each. Nominations are selected by BET's Voting Academy, which is comprised of fans and a group of entertainment professionals in the fields of television, film, music, social media, digital marketing, sports journalism, public relations, and creative arts. Meanwhile, no Ghanaian artist was nominated in the Best International Arts category for this year's show. Sarkodie and Stonebwoy are previous award winners, with Miss V and Kwesi Arthur getting nominations in previous editions. The show will air live on Sunday, June 27, from the Microsoft Theater at LA, live in Los Angeles.
Unfortunately, Ghana misses out on any nominations for the Best International Act category. That's it for Entertainment News. My name is Harriet Taddy.
And And on the international front, the EU's medicine agency has approved a Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for 12 to 15-year-olds. The first jab allowed for this age group in the bloc. Friday's announcement came after the World Health Organization's Europe director warned that the pandemic would not be over until at least 70% of the population had been vaccinated. That's our time with the love of this edition of Newsnight on Metro Television. We came to you from the Ekia Boahima City here at Northridge in Accra. My name is Sophia Fosua.
I'm Ethel Poplampo. Have a good evening.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
We bring you good news on today's edition of Community Watch here on Metro TV. With me, Gabriel Niobodai, Atupra, Atunam, Togbo, Ashon, Kwao. If you've been following Community Watch for a while now, you'd recall an episode where we mentioned to you about some challenges that the Queen's School in La, well, if you don't know, there is a Queen's School in La called La Wireless Cluster of Schools. There was a very deplorable or dilapidated defunct clinic which was almost collapsing, and we fear that